Hello YouTube, this is Pink Sniper Chick and I am looking for an answer to the removal of Battle Lab from Fortnite. I found a game that is called, I did recently play Battle Lab 2.0, but it has other items in it that are not in the current game, and I feel like something has to be off about this. I really couldn't believe that Epic would remove Battle Lab without putting something in that would um, give us a solution for practice, like real life practice, no bots, no bots, whatever, whatever it is that you want. And I remembered whenever going into creative and just getting used to using creative, um, I remembered finding that there is a full map in creative. So we're going to do that. I'm going to show you what I believe is the answer, Epic's answer to Battle Lab. Now, as Battle Lab existed previously, it you had to use what their specifications were, but maybe that wasn't what you wanted exactly. Maybe you automatically want the bots there, and maybe you don't want them at all. Now, in the previous Battle Lab, you were able to pick up the uh, they're like grenades, enemy grenades, friends grenades, and if you're playing with a lot of people in the game, those are really fun to use. You could throw an enemy right on them. Of course, you could even set it up where you're throwing enemies out just across the map to be able to run across them at some point in your experience. Well, that was still quite a bit of work. I honestly believe this is an answer. So I've actually already created mine, but I'm going to show you the process that I used. And whenever you come into for anybody who is not familiar with creative, whenever you come into creative, you're going to come into a HUD. Now, this is the winter HUD. This is going to change, so don't be freaked out when you come back and it looks completely different. It changes. So, but whenever you do come in, you're looking for your rift, this gold rift that will have your name, and it will have the name of the last island that you were in. This is your creation. This is your place to basically just build whatever you want to build. It's really actually gives you unlimited potential of use of Fortnite. So what we're going to do is, even though I have already created this, I'm going to show you. You go up to your console. I'm using PS5, so what you see on the screen is for PS5. When you approach it, whatever device it is you're using, just like in the game, it is going to tell you what button to push to use the console. For PS5, it's the square. So whenever you're here, if you're brand new, you're not accustomed to seeing it. If you've never created an island before, then you are going to see nothing under island name. You'll see my islands, deleted islands, and create new across the top. That's what we want to do, create new. So for PS5, I'm going to R2. For some people, it's right trigger. If you're on PC, whatever shows up next to that box is what you want to choose. Now, this is the starter islands, and this is a beta release. Now, of course, this could change in the future, but the answer for right now until Creative 2.0 is here, and they update all of this. This is the answer, in my opinion, to how to have that battle lab. So we want to press X to confirm. You can name your island. You can just leave it Battle Royale Island. As you noticed, I named mine Practice Island for myself. I have no idea. Okay, yeah, I can't. I need to back. I'm trying to backspace this. And why am I? Oh, I've got to exit in it. Press X first, or actually select to be in that line, and then we can backspace and rename it. I'm going to probably delete this, so I'm just going to name this one my stream uh, tutorial. Let's do that. You name it whatever you want to name it, and then of course you select that. Once you're finished, then whatever the option is for you to confirm. Now you got to give it a minute. Don't think you're just going to walk right into that rift. It does take a minute. For me, probably because I have already downloaded this island before, it has already downloaded what it needs, and so it's going to be here more quickly for me. So if you have to wait a minute, just chill. It's okay. And then you just walk through your rift, and you'll see matchmaking. Now, if you have a lot of friends that you want to join you, see it does show downloading additional content up at the top, so it does still take a minute. If you have other friends to want to join you in this, you have new people who are trying to learn, or maybe it's a new season and there are new weapons. You just don't want the hassle of having to load a bot to do a bot lobby, or you just want to be in this more of practice realm, then you can have your friends come to this by having the number of people that you're permitted to have, I believe, what is it, 16, um, in your lobby and go in. Now, this is the customizer, and you go up to customize your loot controller. Now, first things first, if you want it to be identical to what is in the current season, because according to the graphic for this game, it shows that it updates automatically. In my opinion, you don't want to mess with it. If you want it to be identical, don't mess with it. Just let it be what it is. But if you want to make some changes, maybe you don't want there to be a storm, maybe you want there to be different loot, then you can come over here and just familiarize yourself. It says current battle royale. That's what the loot selection is right now. That's going to give you the most authentic experience of the current chapter and season. We can see it says explosives focused, shotgun focused, sniper, single shot. You have all kinds of options in here. If you were like wanting to create just a fun time for you and your friends and say, okay, this is the only kind of weapon that we can use, then you can do that where all of the guns are gold, or I don't even know if gold was an option. Um, yes, gold was an option. So it has all of those options for you, but just be sure to go back to current battle lab if that is what you're wanting to do. Um, it shows you this is actually doing 100% spawn for these loot selection. We're going to leave to current battle royale, but I do not believe that the current one will do 100%. So maybe it does. Again, I'm not messing with it. I want to leave it just as it is. There's no settings for that or that. We're just making our way over to be sure that um, that we've looked at everything. This is your deployment that we're going to deploy by battle bus, because that is the way that you deploy. Usually, this is I'm actually creating this to assist a new friend that I have joining the game, but anybody can use this. This is the battle bus experience. You can ride it on. You can go over to the map, look, see where you want to go. You can mark your map, jump. It gives them that full experience. spawn battle bus for each team. That's if you're going to have more than one team. And as you see, you have additional options to be able to tweak and play with if that's what you want to do. The storm. This is important for some people who want to be able to practice without the pressure of the storm. If that's the case, then you can turn the storm off. If you want it to be faster, you can make it faster. If you want it to be slower, you can make it slower. The size of the storm, everything you see, that there are all of these different options that you can tweak. So the best thing to do with this is just play with it. Just see what it is. You can always end up going back. If you end up getting this, you're like, I have no idea what the original settings were, then just delete the map and create a new one that is set with the default settings. Okay? And then we go over to, let's see what this one is. Okay, this is the bot portion. So I personally, on my island that I created for Practice Island for my friend, I am going to turn target bots off because right now I don't want them to have to deal with that. I just want them to get used to running around the island and finding weapons, being able to pick them up, put them down, open chests, actually taking health, setting themselves on fire to take health away. All of the things that we need to know how to do in the game without the pressure of a bot trying to shoot you, because there is a lot of pressure that for somebody who's new. They're like, I'm trying to learn this controller, I'm trying to learn how to play the game, and I can't because I'm just trying to stay alive. So this gives you that ability. Of course, I personally would want the vehicles and wildlife, but if wildlife gets on your nerves, you don't want to mess with it, you can turn the wildlife off. Just keep in mind you lose a mode of transportation whenever you do that. Okay? Now, bosses enabled. If you don't want the boss enabled, you want to be able to go through the Citadel, for example, in Chapter 4, without losing your head, then you would want to turn that off, because this is something that they're like wolves will still attack you, the boars will still bump you, the chickens will still peck you and take your health away. This boss can eliminate you, so you might want to turn that off. If you are eliminated in Battle Lab, you respawn and will rift back out. So that actually, in my opinion, is a good way to get around the map. Carry fire with you. Just set yourself on fire. You'll reboot or jump off a cliff and take fall damage. Whatever it is that will help you to respawn and get back in, go to wherever it is that you want to go. There may still be loot llamas. Of course, if that's the case, then there'll be rifts in the game, so you'd be able to take rifts that way. Now, as I try to remember how it is that I actually, oh yes, the way that you actually start this is you want to go to your options, and it brings you to your menu, like if you were going to go back to the lobby, but we're not going to do that. We want to go over to the menu and go down to Start Game, and then press whatever that option is to start your game. For PS5, it's the X. It will take a minute. If I actually clicked on the right thing, I may not have. Oh, come on. What is it? I am pressing the X. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't know. This says, oh, you know what? I didn't turn those bots off because this was a practice island. So you notice that the kill stream actually, or loot stream, whatever you want to call it, over on the side shows all of the target bots were loading. There are 100, so it's like a usual game. In this particular version, this is what it would be like, just like the other your regular game. You can, excuse me, you can go to your map. You see where that initial storm is, or it's coming in, and you mark your place where you want to go. You jump. You can thank the bus driver. Everything you see, the bots are jumping out. Also, just as what you see in the game, this should be a authentic experience. Wow, this is a good place to land. Maybe I should keep this in mind. Land right on a slurp truck. Okay. Now this is showing a build version because I'm showing that I have the zeros over on my mat. So if you want to be practicing that as you go, you just, of course, will do your harvesting and you'll find that you can build. Okay? So that's it. That is how you create your own. It is set. You don't have to recreate it. The only thing that you do now, just like if you were wanting to leave a game, you pull this up, you can end game, or you can just go back to your lobby if you're finished. If you want to go back to your HUD, maybe you want to make a change. Maybe you want to add another island for something else in some other creative. You go back to hub. Um, but otherwise, you can just go back to your lobby, which is what I'm going to do because I will end the stream. And if this was helpful for you, I'd really appreciate your support just by subscribing to the channel, at minimum, liking the video, sharing it with friends who may be new and would like to set this up for themselves so that they can uh, practice in peace. Keep in mind, you will not be practicing in peace if you do what I just did, which was forget that I didn't turn the bots off because I already have my own bot-free version set up in the preparation for this video. So anyway, that you it actually would probably be good to have both created anyway, with bots, without bots, and then you can just automatically spawn in. You don't have to go through your resetting everything each time, and it'll be there for you. Whenever there is an update, it should update, and then you will be able to just go back in that island and learn the new weapons, because it doesn't matter who you are, a pro player, a beginner, we all are learning from the beginning once we get a new update. And even though having used the weapons before may be the same, we don't know if they've been buffed or nerfed. We don't know what the differences are in their settings. So there is still a time of learning that everybody goes through. So if you're a new player, be encouraged by that. That we are all learning whenever there's a new season, a new chapter, and it does give us a pause of every time there's an update. We have to look around and see what's new. That's what gives us the opportunity to create content for YouTube. So if you have any questions and you would like to know how to tweak any of these, I don't have all of the answers, but I enjoy learning. So if you want to just drop your question in the comments, I'll be happy to take a look at it and give you an answer. Okay? So, again, subscribe, like, share. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.